It stays green perpetually. That would be...
That's an advantage.
It's Brad and Ryan with fake moss between us.
Yeah.
Could have our own show.
We could.
Wait a minute, we do have our own show.
Yeah, we do have our own show. No one watches it, but we have it.
Yeah, well, we record videos for ourselves, and other people might enjoy it someday.
If you're not having fun, they're not having fun. Something like that.
Something like, yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well, that led me to thinking about Get Shaped. Let's get straight.
Of course it did. That was so natural.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, it's so natural.
Great. So I had to kind of start a way to start.
And what about the agenda?
Well, as a good behavior analyst, we always have an agenda for our meetings, and today's meeting is... Well,
yeah,
OBM it to death, right?
OBM it to death. Yeah, to death.
To death.
And we have. Let's get shaped. So, did
we OBM get shaped? Well, we kind of did as well.
Yeah, we did a little bit. Yeah, at this point, it's a habit.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. This is what it's like working with us. We apply the principles to everything we do.
Yeah.
And annoy the hell out of each other in the process. It's great.
All you guys see is our notes.
You see the...
after the filters.
Yeah, this is... and we're trying to do this unfiltered. This could be interesting.
Then we'll be all right.
Yeah, I hope so. Then we bleep.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of bleeps, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Get Shaped, right? So
yeah. What about it?
I was going to ask you, give us some of the background on it. I mean, people have seen our adverts. People have been using it for like 18 months now, but we haven't really given that big story in a way that people understand and can connect with, because there is a cool story here, and it doesn't fit into a 30-second little window, and we can't afford to pay for booths at a conference. So
here we are.
This is how we're going to tell the story. So
right.
Tell me the story, the background. How did we get to where we are?
Background? Well, I think there's a lot of crying and tears, like anyone else studying for the exam.
Oh, when you were studying for the exam.
Yeah. So that's my experience. Started the potential idea, or at least the awareness of it, right? Yeah. So my experience going through the exam, everyone has wonderful materials out there. Right. There are a bunch of them.
Yeah. We've bought most of them over the years.
Yeah, right. Accurate. So there's a lot of them, and that's brilliant. The field in that regard is well supported.
Yep, I agree.
That being said, kind of what was interesting is just I did the exam, and then watching just social media like we do.
Right.
Just this interesting trend of people do the one and done thing. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Congrats.
Hashtag trend, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And then this real surprising and kind of interesting piece of multiple test takers.
Right.
And it just got me thinking, there's all these great materials.
Yeah.
And even they're like, I've done all of the materials. We're like, interesting.
And they would even send us pictures of questions. Remember that?
Yeah.
It would say, how do you answer this particular question?
Yeah. So fascinating. And then we opened up CramSessions again.
Right.
Where everyone's coming, hanging out, and we're going through content. And these people would show up, and they were just ready to deliver the lecture. And they were like, but we're studying for the exam. And we're like, just take your tassel. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
What's so true.
What's going on?
So true.
And so we noticed that. And then just kind of the general theme in CramSessions of individuals outside of the classroom for a good period of time start to struggle with the content again. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of that perspective and background. It's just like, so what's missing in the field? Because it's not just questions and content delivery.
Yeah. It was. So what was missing? I mean, what we concluded was a different skill. Like there's that skill of knowing ABA content, being able to answer questions about ABA content just on the fly, having a conversation about it, being able to lecture about different topics. And they were fine with that. But if I recall correctly, what we saw was that they just couldn't parse those questions. They had a really, really hard time trying to figure out what was being asked in the question. And then we spent our time in CramSessions going to teaching people how to do that. Like here's the type of stuff you want to focus on in the question. Because there's, 50 words in there. Of those, only 3 words are important. So we need to get you to filter out the unimportant words.
And how do you identify those?
Right. Yeah. So we just identified a completely different skill set that was needed. And that's where we tackled it. And that's essentially what we tackled with Get Shaped. That's why we're saying it's a shaping program, right? Mm-hmm. Is that we're going to shape you into answering test questions in a way that matches what the behavior analyst boards and things like that want. Mm-hmm. We already knew the material. Everybody knew that dang material.
Yeah.
Dang, whatever.
That
Dang material. I sound like my dad popping it right out.
Dang test. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, the boomer came out fast in me. I have to be careful, especially that conversation about epigenetics a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you should Gen X that real quick.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey, you even remembered. You didn't forget the forgotten generation. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So millennial, I'm open to all that.
Yeah. You're a nexty millennial.
Yeah. An elder millennial.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that whole entire piece brings down what Get Shaped is as a program.
Right.
And that is the fun part of we're like, really what they need to answer questions is train that as the skill, right? So the basics of applied behavior analysis. To do that, you have your fluency, discrimination, and your generalization. Right? Because if you don't have generalization, you don't have anything anywhere.
Yeah, you just see them continually taking Get Shaped over and over and over again because we left off that phase, right?
Yeah.
Oops,
I can do it. That's pretty great. That's actually why we named each phase Ready, Set, and Go.
It's true.
So they get ready, they're set, and then they go take the test. Anyway, that's the program, the phases within the program.
Yep.
But what that gets into is, well, how do you do that? Well, really, it's just stimulus phasing. So
true. Yeah.
Across the 4,500 questions, which is just insane. And that's not even AI generated. That's just,
that took
4,500 questions in stimulus fading. So really, like the first phase has extensive highlighting and prompting.
Right.
Right. And then the second phase a little less. And the third phase, we figured you should be independent, so we just leave you alone.
No problem. We were just kind of highlighting.
Yeah.
Folks, you have no idea. Like eventually you're highlighting all these things in Google, because of course we use Google services or whatever. So we're highlighting, and eventually it says you have no more blue highlighter left. That's what it felt like after 4,500 questions of highlighting.
Clippy came out. It's like, you're out of blue. No. And then went back to the back.
Well, we did bring Clippy back for something else.
Yeah, we did.
We can't talk about that today, though.
Yeah, no.
We're here to talk about Get Shaped.
Yeah, Get Shaped.
So so we put 4,500 questions, and it wasn't a mock.
No. What do you have against there's a theme here. What do you have against mocks anyway?
Oh, thank you for asking, Brad.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this prompt.
Coffee.
That brings Stewie out.
Yeah.
This is a total Stewie moment. I have a problem with mocks, not because of...
We spilled the tea.
Well, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I will. It's not my carpet. We're renting it. Quite literally. So the mock implies, so when you build a mock exam, to me, with a background in psychometrics, that implies that you've gone through all the same effort that they went through in the original exam to create this exam. So they do a whole bunch of stuff, from item response theory to different types of validity that you have to worry about, and different types of reliability that you have to worry about to make sure that your assessment is reliable and valid. Well, I don't believe that we're all doing that when we're building our mocks. So I don't think that we necessarily should be calling them mocks, but it's a loose term. I'm just being technical with it and being overly pedantic because, well, behavior analyst. So we didn't want to do mocks. We wanted to do something different because we assumed that people knew the content as well. Like, this wasn't about knowledge.
There's assuming we're also shown.
Right.
With CramSessions.
They knew. They could talk about it. So we just went a different route. We're shaping you into being able to pass these exams. Yeah. It's not just for the BCBA exam or the BCBA exam, not whichever ones they are. It's for any of the exams where you're taking behavior analytic tests.
Yeah, the QAB.
The QAB, the IABO, the international one. Anyway, so that's what I have against mocks. It's that it's a bit of a misnomer, and I'm not picking on the people that use that phrase. That's a common phrase. It's lost some of its technical piece, but for me it hasn't. So I get all fired up, and it just lights me up. So anyway, there's the mocking thing. So
I just love the fact that this psychometric analysis, he's like, mock exams, no!
I just can't deal with it.
Yeah.
It's not. The beautiful part was the natural marketing that goes along with that.
Yes, because we like to make jokes, we're like, so we're going to shape you and not mock you.
We'll mock you for something else.
Yeah, we'll mock you for something else, but not for test development.
Not for test development.
There's ethics around that. That's just rude.
So, and it's a skill, right? So we just assumed that test taking was a skill, and what skill is missing in order to get these people to pass the tests. Yeah, and that's how we got to essentially it.
And so that's why we're here.
So to piggyback on what Brad was saying earlier about those 3 different conditions, so he talked about fluency, discrimination, and generalization, and the 3 pieces that exist inside of those. So remember, he was saying that there's these different prompt fading. Essentially, what you have is each one of those has 3 different sets, full length, pseudo pretend exams of questions that are related to it, and tied in with your task analysis stuff. But there's 3 different sets of fadings through each one of those. So the fluency phase is just about basic principles, right? So can you get this stuff down? Can you get it done quickly? The discrimination phase, again, or condition, whatever, has 3 of those, the prompt fading phases, stimulus fading, prompt fading, depending on how you look at it. And that one is about telling the difference between complex particular topics, like, I don't know, maybe a tandem schedule and a chain schedule or something like that. And so the question itself has those pieces broken into it, or negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement, negative punishment, something. So the idea being that you narrow down the particular topics in each one of those topic categories and say which ones are the hardest to tell the difference between. And we're going to quiz you on that. We're going to teach you how to tell the difference. And that's that piece. Then the generalization phase is about getting your skills to think, getting you to think outside of ABA, outside of autism, outside of working with kids, outside of schools. More
behavior for behavior's sake.
Right, exactly. More about like how do superheroes deal with their world, and how do the Friends characters on their TV show deal with their world, stuff like that. Right, just completely generalized beyond. Exactly. Make it fun. So we've got all of that, and if you want to use the term mock, it works out to where there's essentially 9 tests that are built in there, right? So across the board, but there's more.
Yeah, but wait, there's more.
Hey, slap chop and run for Congress.
Yeah.
Well, I had to get it in there.
Yeah, you had to.
Watch, one of us is going to become a politician. You'll be a politician.
No, I couldn't.
You would be like a breath of fresh air for everybody.
No.
Director of parsimony.
I'd pick up cigar smoking just on principle. Winston Churchill that just for fun.
See? This is right? Plant the seed. Let's marry it.
At least I can still have a coherent sentence. Anyway, which is great because this is why self-management is important.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
So while we were talking about all of the skill of test taking, there's obviously the content like we've been talking about. Mm-hmm. But what about being ready for the exam? Because you got to be ready to do the behavior, right? Yeah. Weird.
Not weird.
I know. The whole idea from that conversation, the self-management perspective, was like, well, technically there's a lot that goes into being as accurate and as ready as you can be. And that includes things like sleeping well, eating well, those considerations, and then tracking your progress because we're data driven. So that's fun. So all of those pieces are blended into the program. It's for while you're getting ready and getting shaped, we're doing all of the behaviors and habits. You got it. Or at least prompting to the best of our ability to be ready, to perform what you've told us you're ready to go.
Sure. Hey, got to go. Ready to go. And then the pre-posts that are tied in with that too. So you get a pre and a post assessment that you can use to measure your own visual progress. Again, all the tools that you would need to measure it. We built all of that stuff ahead of time. And you just kind of plug in your things, tools to track what you eat, tools to track how you sleep, all of the different stuff. The idea is, it's an intervention. It's a multi-element intervention. This would be a multi-element design, folks, that we kind of created on our own. Trying to think what else. There's more things that we were going to talk about here. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. The 4,500. We talked about 4,500 questions already. Oh, the Canvas piece. So. Yeah. So all.
Ryan, where is this?
It's instead of building a website, we partnered with Mary Baldwin University and jumped into their Canvas system. Right. So the idea being that this is built in a learning management system that the students are already familiar with, most of them anyway. And so you don't have a big jump, a new learning curve there. Once again, to keep things as smooth as possible. Shaping should be easy, supposedly. Anyway, so we've got Canvas that we use it for, which means that you can access it through a browser or you can access it through an app on your phone, your tablet. Super easy to get into, and kind of a nice little feature that we really, really, really wanted to have. So,
I was going to ask. Parroting on you really wanting to have. Real quick, why would we want to use Canvas and not some of the other data systems?
Just easy. Ultimately, it's familiar. Number one.
Yeah.
And it's it also has the outcomes tools.
That's
I forgot about the 900 outcomes.
yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We don't have that on the script, do we?
No.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
Good. I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
Why are you using it, right? Because of the outcomes. So we built in all the outcomes. This is what you get.
Back to those OBM notes.
There was an agenda.
Yeah.
But anyway, so outcomes. So Canvas, you can use outcome tools. So we put outcomes in at every level with regard to like all of the different task list pieces that exist on your study, whatever call that thing from the BACB. It's not. Is it the task list now? It used to be called the task list. Now it's the study guide. Or, I can't remember what they call it, but version 6, whatever one they're on, or 6th edition of the
things you should do by the board.
Right. Yeah. Here's
Number
the study.
23.
And all of our stuff matches up to that, right?
Yeah.
So then the outcomes are, did you get A1? Did you master it? Yeah. A2, have you mastered it? A3, have you mastered it? And you can master that once you achieve the different goals that are within the system. So it's all there. It's all baked in. And it really works kind of well.
Yeah. And it has the ability to do some great feedback and reinforcing.
Right.
For being independent and needing support.
Yeah. And some people have said it's a little bit too easy. I mean...
Good. If our goal was to teach you test taking as a skill and you already know the content, we did it wrong.
Right? So they don't feel it.
Correct.
Shaping should be easy. It shouldn't put you, we're not trying to get you to ratio strain, right? We don't want you to stress out while you're trying to learn this, learn how to take the test. We want you to smoothly roll along. And that ease of use is a feature. It's not a bug. It's a feature. Like we had somebody complain, it's too easy. I'm like, well, what happened? I passed my exam. Thank you. Like, that was an interesting complaint.
If you passed, why you mad?
I understand some people just like to be mad about things, but
yeah,
if that was you, it's okay. Like, we understand you're watching us still. But speaking of easy, we do have pretty good pass rates. We've been having this thing out there for about 18 months now.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, we did a beta test for about a year.
If everyone wonders why the YouTube videos dropped off, this is why.
There you go. All the other projects, right? So we've had it out there running for about 18 months. We don't collect super, super tight data. In other words, we don't demand that people report back to us, but the people that have reported back, 100% of those people passed their exam on the next attempt. Whether or not that was the BCBA, whether or not it was the IABO or whatever the other one, the QBA. So we functionally have 100% next time pass rate. Most of these students are, right? That is wood. Most of these students are people that had taken the exam before. So we're doing good there. But some people weren't. It was their first time out, and they just nailed it. So we're happy with that. If that changes, we'll report it, of course. But
we're only reporting what we got. So far, it's looking good.
100%.
Yeah.
We even have a little bit of a guarantee with it, just like everybody does.
I think that just kind of wrapping back the entire piece. That's kind of my favorite thing about this program is if you know the content, you've tested a bunch of times and you're stuck,
right?
It's something else.
Yep, it's not.
It's really focused on the intervention isn't the content.
Right. So if you're stuck, it's time to get shaped.
Yeah, if you're stuck, it's time to get shaped.
So it was either between get shaped or fudge it, just fudge it, because FDG, right? Frequency discrimination in general is.
We figured get shaped was a little nicer.
So if you also want to refer to the program as fudging it, you can too. We'll just help you fudge it.
We sure did.
We assume you know the materials. Just fudge it. So that's it. So anyway. I think that's about it. That tells the story anyway.
That is the story. So that's how you got to get shaped, and there you go. Let us know if you need a discount. We'll offer you a few pennies off. We want people to use it. It's not just sit on a server somewhere forever. So
and thank you again for Mary Baldwin for kindly letting us jump on their
oh my heavens.
For those of you that don't know, a deployment of Kansas. Deployment of Kansas is really challenging. I've never tried to deploy Kansas, but I assume that if you
it is.
But of Canvas is rather expensive. So it was a little bit beyond our scope, and Mary Baldwin stepped up and said, hey, join us. We'll let you on piggyback on our successes. So cool.
Pretty awesome.
Yep, they're awesome too.
We got it. Yeah.
All right.
So all the people use the thing, study hard, go pass.
And get shaped.
Get shaped.
See ya.
See ya.